discretion advised. Good evening, my fellow ghouls, and welcome back to the Graveyard Shift Horror Podcast, where we talk about everything and anything horror, both past and present. I'm your host, Morticia Macabre.
And I am Brandon Balor.
And I know we've been gone since October, and we humbly apologize for that.
Yeah, kinda got off the rails a bit.
Yeah, some personal issues, some health problems, but everything's, starting to get settled, so here we are, we're back up and running.
Mm-hmm.
And today's topic is an 80s cult classic, and definitely one of my favorite slasher films of all time.
Which is crazy because you just saw it first time, a couple of months ago?
Half of a year ago.
Yeah.
Half of a year ago, back in October. Which, leads me to this next thing.
Did we have that on the 31 days?
We kind of discussed it a little bit, but we didn't really delve deep into it.
That's true.
Like I really
And we
wanted
didn't
to.
see the sequels.
No, the sequels are great. The first one is, better, hands down, the best one, but, the sequels are, definitely great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about the sequels a little bit, but, we'll primarily be focusing on the original.
Yeah, the main one is the original, because that one is the best one to me, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and...
Well, because it has such, we'll talk about this more as we go further into it, but, the original, yes, it's a slasher, but it also has that twist at the end, whereas the other ones, it's more so you're looking at the progression of Angela.
Absolutely. And if you guys have never seen Sleepaway Camp, then I would probably advise turning this off until you have seen it.
Yeah, because definitely spoilers afoot.
Many spoilers.
And especially the big twist at the end. So at the end of the first one. So yeah, if you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, first off, why are you listening to this to begin with? And secondly, pause this now. Pause it. I'll give you a few seconds. You got paused? Okay, now go turn Sleepaway Camp.
Trust me, you will not be disappointed. I sit there and watch this movie over and over again.
And then while you're at it, go watch something else. I'm sure we'll discuss a little bit. Maybe we'll do a whole episode on it. But go watch Victor Crowley too.
Yeah, because the same awesome actress is in that.
We'll talk more about that later too.
This movie came out in 1983. Mm-hmm. And it was known as an exploitation horror film. Mm-hmm. Which we'll explain what kind of why that is later on. Mm-hmm. But it stars Felissa Rose as Angela, aka in the other films she's known as the Angel of Death. Mm-hmm. And it stars Jonathan Tiersten as her cousin Ricky, and Christopher Collette as Paul, her love interest. Mm-hmm. He's a dick, though. He's a dick. I'm sorry. Anyways, no, the actor's cool, character's a dick.
And he's a dick.
Anyway, sorry for that little rant. Well, a fun fact about this movie is that the alternative name for it is Nightmare Vacation. Mm.
Yeah, you told me that yesterday. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, but I like Sleepaway Camp a lot better.
Yeah, it just sounds better, and because Nightmare Vacation, it sounds like it's people going on vacation, which this isn't that. It's a sleepaway camp. So I like the Sleepaway Camp title.
It's not really a vacation.
Yeah, it's not really
a vacation for the kids, but
yeah, but I don't really consider. When I think of vacation, I think of going somewhere as a family or something.
Or what Sam and Colby did.
Exactly.
And we'll, if you don't know who they are, we'll talk about them later.
Yeah.
The film is about a girl named Angela Baker who was traumatized by the death of her family. However, she was taken in by her weird, crazy aunt.
Very
kooky,
eccentric.
Very kooky.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, she's pretty cool. Not by what she does, though, but, she's so outgoing. It's so,
yeah.
yeah.
You know,
like, what she does is not cool.
No.
It's kind of crazy and weird.
Kind of crazy?
Kind of, very crazy and weird, but, like, her, like, she's out there. And, you know, people who are out there are normally the most interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And 7 years later, she is sent off to a summer camp with her cousin Ricky. But the kids aren't really nice to her. She's very shy. She doesn't really know how to communicate with the other kids because she probably hasn't been around a lot of other kids.
That's one interesting little question, especially because, like, it seems like they're pretty well off and everything. I wonder if part of the reason for this, and also take into consideration, you know, the twist at the end, do you think they were homeschooled? Is that why she's so, like...
Well, she gave them a home physical, so I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. So this is the first time, like, she's ever really been around other kids since the accident.
If people bullied her in school, then would she just kill the people who bullied her in school as well, or did she just snap? So I think they might have been homeschooled.
Probably.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know, like, a little bit of a kind of a backstory a little bit. I'm a sucker for backstories. I am.
That would be an interesting, like, it obviously couldn't be, like, a horror movie, but it would be an interesting concept to see, like, a prequel to Sleepaway Camp with the backstory of Angela and, like, how she devolved as a result of what happened.
Yeah, and I know it shows, like, a little bit of it, like, in flashbacks, but it doesn't really, like, you know, capture it that well. But I know they weren't really reaching for that because it would be a super long movie if they did that.
Well, not only that, but also, like, the flashbacks would give away the twist at the end.
Very, very true. But, yeah, anyway, she's, you know, terrorized. She's sent off to Camp Arawak. Mm-hmm. That's the name of the camp. And she's terrorized by her bunkmates. Mm-hmm. They know about what happened to her family, but they're still, excuse my language, little cunts about it.
They're super bitches.
They're super bitches. Like, honestly, dude, like, just, I wouldn't be able to hold, like, I would end up hitting the main one. I would end up smacking really hard. Not even smacking, I would end up blackening her eye.
Instead of, that one nice one, instead of slapping the one, I wish you would have slapped the other one.
Both of them.
Well, both of them.
She was the worst one, though. The one, the one with the really long hair, you know, oh, I'm filled out, I have, like, boobs and everything, so I'm better than all the other girls. Yeah. By the way, Angela was a lot prettier than her. Mm-hmm. And, well, anyway, there's a bunch of mysterious murders that happen at the camp. I wonder who did those.
Oh, should we even mention the creepy pervert? The creepy pervert cook?
This guy kind of deserved it.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, why?
Here's a direct quote from the movie. This is all you need to know. He said, there is no such thing as too young, you're just too old.
I swear to God, I think the other cook thought he was joking, because he went,
I would certainly hope that he thought he was joking. Because he was like, they're too young to know what's on your mind.
Oh, there's no such thing as too young, you're just too old. And then he's like, ha, ha, ha.
Didn't you tell me that, isn't he, like, the dad of someone? Or
he's the father of James Earl Jones.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, and you can hear it in his voice.
I did not know that. It blew my mind.
Yeah.
The one of the cooks in Sleepaway Camp, if you did not know this already, and you've seen it, and like we said, if you haven't seen it, we don't know why you're listening.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, if you have seen it, and you've seen, the cook that said that is James Earl Jones' father.
Yeah, so.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Vader, I am your father.
But, at the end of the movie, it turns out that she was doing all the killings to the people who bullied her. All the people that got murdered were the people who bullied her, At the camp.
And not just that, but here's the big twist. I wish I had a drum roll thing on here. I should have pre-planned that. But yeah, she is a he.
Angela was really a boy, and here's where the crazy aunt comes into play.
There were 2 kids that were with the dad at the beginning.
And the dad's, love interest.
Yeah. And one of the kids got killed, one of them survived. We were assuming it was the girl that survived, but it was really the boy who survived. But the crazy aunt, since she already had a boy, wanted a girl instead. So she proceeded to give him long hair, and I don't really
girl clothes. I don't know how she sounds like a girl. Like she is a doctor, so maybe she like.
But this is the 80s. Like, if you made a remake of it now, you could easily have her, like, actually do a full-on sex change and everything. That'd
be, like, child... Well, what she's doing is kind of
yeah, exactly, anyway. But obviously you wouldn't be able to have the twist at the end. But, yeah, it's weird.
What she does to, it's very confusing. What she does to Angela is, that can be very confusing for a kid,
Yeah, and, like, what am I?
Like, her, she gets a boyfriend at the summer camp, Paul. She has a hard time getting intimate with Paul because she's confused.
Mm-hmm.
She's confused. She doesn't know, like, is this right? Like, that's why it went to the flashback, and I said I didn't understand the part at first, but that's why she went to the flashback with her and her brother, well, him and his sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Catching, like, the 2, dads in bed together.
Yeah.
So she's thinking, am I gay, or am I,
Yeah, so, like, at least in that scenario, it kind of made, like, at least she had that concept because she had gay dads.
Yeah, so am I, like, she's like, it's basically like, what am
I?
And that's really sad, to be honest with you. Like, her aunt fucked her head up so much that...
Just a bit.
And it's just, she just was confused. Not that we're saying, like, there was anything wrong with being gay or anything.
No, of course.
Disclaimer.
But it's just,
yeah.
But at that age,
your aunt wants you to be a girl,
exactly.
but you don't really know what's going on.
And you don't know what the hell's going on, exactly.
So I feel really bad for her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. This is one of those movies... And I'm trying to think if there are really any others that I can distinctly think of. But this is definitely one of those movies that you actually are on the side of the killer more than anything.
And when I first saw it, like, I wasn't entirely sure who was the killer. Was it her cousin or was it her? But I had my suspicions it was her, obviously. Mm-hmm. But, the cousin, he cared so much about her. He, like, he's, like, literally the best cousin in the world. He, like, cares about her. He, like, sticks up for her, basically, like, acts as her bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk about the crazy, camp director.
Oh, God.
He was, like, a pervert, too.
Yeah.
Like, he was, like, hitting on one of the female camp, like, she might have been 16 years old, and, like, it was one of the bitchy girls that was mean to Angela. He actually tried to attack Ricky because he thought he was the killer. Yeah. And he actually almost killed Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, like, we don't know, like, in the sequels and everything, we don't know what happened to
Ricky.
We
never find out what happened to
Ricky.
Ricky.
If he died from those wounds, or...
And we don't ever find out, like, what happened. Like, they kind of reference it a little bit, but, like, we never fully find out what happened to that camp and everything, like, to the camp director and stuff.
the camp was probably shut down because there's different camps. There's a different camp in the other two. Mm-hmm. I would assume it's shut down.
Yeah.
But I would shut it down.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like Camp Crystal Lake, pretty much. But, yeah, he was backwards. Completely. Like, a lot of the, employees there were backwards. Mm-hmm. Except for Ronnie. He wasn't backwards. He stuck up for Angela.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he was, like, one
of
the good
ones. Which is weird
because,
isn't he in, like, the second one? Mm-mm. Or the third one?
No, he's
not. Oh, no, never mind.
No, that's it. The second one and the third one are, like, really different. Mm-hmm. Though. Like, they have a different feel to it.
Yeah.
But they're still good.
But what's kind of cool about the sequels is how they show the progression of Angela.
Oh, absolutely. Like, she's, like, she's shy. She can't, like, she has a hard time speaking to anybody in the first one. Like, honestly, she's a character that I can relate to a lot. Mm-hmm. And even to this day, because, like, the only way I can really talk to people is, like, if I'm on a podcast. Mm-hmm. Or, like, I'm kind of getting better at it, but it's a thing called social anxiety disorder. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what she had.
Oh, yeah. Well, also, I mean, like we talked about it, the fact that she didn't know what she was.
That was really confusing for her.
It didn't exactly help her.
It did not, but she's, like, more aware of herself in the other two.
Oh, yeah.
And we can call him a her.
Yeah, because she apparently gets it. Well, they never really... Because didn't they try to dispute that in one scene in, like, either the second or third one?
See, that was a little confusing, and we'll get to that. We'll explain that, but, like, it's basically, like, I'll just explain, like, real quick. She was wearing a... She I don't know what to call it. It was like a thing that kind of, like, made it look like she had boobs, but you didn't really see anything underneath, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't know, like a corset kind of thing, to kind of, like, I don't know if it was to conceal the fact that she didn't have, boobs, or if it was to fill them out more, or if it's a bra that she was required to wear by her doctors. Mm-hmm. Like a special kind of bra, I'm not really sure how that works. Yeah. But it was, like, confusing.
Yeah, because they claim that she had a sex change, but then, like, in one scene they said, oh, that didn't happen, or something along those lines.
Right, and, the other two are really great, like...
Oh, yeah.
Sleepaway Camp 2 is actually called, Unhappy Campers. Mm-hmm. And if you've never seen Sleepaway Camp 2, like, again, spoiler alert... Yep. There's a song that she sings in it called I'm a Happy Camper. Meaning, like, alright, she is, like, so outgoing in the second and third one.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She can talk to you. Like, she's a counselor, pretty much. She comes back as a camp counselor. Like, they took her to a mental hospital apparently after the end of the first one. And she, like, got electroshock therapy and, like, all these different medications, and they said that, then she said she had an operation, so I'm assuming that's the sex change. Yeah. And because it does say on, the Wikipedia page when I was reading more about it that she was transgender.
Oh, okay, so that's assuming that she did get it.
She was transgender.
We kind of talked about this on our own. It doesn't really confirm or deny it in the movies. But do you think part of the reason why she ends up going back to, like, different camps, like, do you think she's on a revenge mission in the sequels, or do you think it's, like, because she had that, like, either dream or vision or something, I think it was in the third one, where it's, like, she's trying to get, like, a good camp experience after the first one, and then when she doesn't, then, like, it sets her back and basically sets her off.
That's what I think. She wants a good camp experience, but her aunt also has over the years, and it's explained this a little, not really explained it in the second one, but it shows a little bit in the second one with how much she talks about her aunt. Mm-hmm. She's, like, drilled bad thoughts into her head,
That's also true. That's a good point.
Like, she would be like, nice girls don't have to show it off, so she kills, like, she murders, like, misbehaving kids in the second one. She, kills, if you have sex or smoke weed or drink alcohol, she's gonna kill you.
Or do any drugs.
She's gonna kill you. It don't matter. And I think she was taught this way by her aunt, which leads me to take back what I said. She's not cool at all.
She's eccentric, that's for sure.
She's eccentric. That is not a good thing all the time. It can be, but not for her.
Nope.
She's, like, drilled thoughts in her head that it's okay to, like, basically weed out, that this is kind of a quote, weed out the bad. Mm-hmm. Like, there's always good kids. You just have to weed out the bad. That's what she told her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's going to put bad thoughts into her head. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so she, basically, again, it's also called Nightmare Vacation Part 2. She, comes back as a camp counselor, like I said. They don't really like her. They kind of, think she's a square. Mm-hmm. But she shows these kids. She shows them. And a lot of the ones that she does kill are assholes. Mm-hmm. And they make fun of her. Mm-hmm. And, that probably honestly brought back bad memories.
Well, that's why I was saying, like, do you think it was a situation where she went back to camp thinking, okay, this is my opportunity to, redeem myself, but then when people were still dicks, then she was like, screw this, I'm just going to kill them off again.
She does kill one off at the beginning when they're trying to tell a ghost story by the fire about the
her.
Angel of Death, because, the murders are probably, obviously went, nationwide with what she did and everything. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's going to be ghost stories about Angela. Which, I forgot to mention, real name was Peter. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she got really mad when this girl was telling these stories, and she cut her tongue out.
Yep.
Cut her tongue out. Cut it right the fuck out.
No issues with that. Just chop.
She cut it right the fuck out. She killed her, then she cut her fucking tongue out. That's how it goes with her.
Yep.
She also shoves a girl in a porta potty that has leeches in it.
Oh god, that was nasty.
Because apparently she's been a shitty friend and a shitty camper, she said.
Oh yeah.
Angela's fucking funny in the second one. She's
that's
hilarious.
That's what I said. Like, throughout the series, she gets much more outgoing, like we talked about, and much funnier.
Also, I forgot to disclaim, Felissa Rose does not play Angela. Unfortunately, in the second two. Pamela Springsteen does. Yeah. But she also does a pretty good job, I will say. She does a pretty good job. But, Felissa Rose is obviously my favorite actress in the Sleepaway Camp, franchise. Because, they don't really look alike either.
No.
But, they're both, they're all, really good movies. She obviously, she gets away at the end and everything, and there's this girl that she befriends, of course, that's, she sees as a good girl, but we don't know what happens to her at the end, because, we think the girl gets away, but then here comes Angela, and then the movie ends.
Yep. It's one of those cliffhangers where it's we don't know if, she got away or not.
But you would also know that there's going to be another sequel after that.
Yes.
Because it's left open.
Yep.
Which leads us to Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. I like that title. It's awesome. Nightmare Vacation Part 3.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, pretty much it stars Pamela Springsteen again as Angela. Felissa Rose is probably busy at the time.
Probably.
That's okay. She's, known as the Angel of Death, but she takes the persona of a fellow camper that's going to the same camp that's, it's the same campsite as in, the second one, but they just remodeled it to be, for, what's the word I'm looking for? Bad, kids?
Yeah, well, What, for the new camp?
In the third one.
Like, they were trying to create, like, a camp where, like, half the campers were from, like, upper class families and the other half were from lower class.
Yeah.
The one weird thing, and I kind of wish, like, I guess the intrigue and the unknown is, good enough, especially for a horror movie, but I wonder how she, like, I guess she probably heard about it on the news and kind of looked up the counselors that were going to be there, or the campers that were going to be there, and, like, tried to figure out, like, who can I kill that I would look like to get their spot.
Yeah, and she actually, takes, the hairstyle, does her hair the same way, and, steals her clothes. And she goes to camp as this person.
Yeah.
They don't know it's Angela. And somebody who was murdered in the second one, their father was apparently the one who arrested Angela in the first one, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back, to help with the camp and everything. And he said if he ever catches Angela, he's going to kill her.
Yep.
But she kind of beats him to that. She kills him. Spoiler alert.
And she does it very quickly.
With a gun.
Yep.
Spoiler alert again. But Sleepaway Camp 3 is really good. It's funny. It has some really funny scenes in it. Again, she kills this cokehead reporter by
instead of giving her coke, she gives her
Ajax.
Yep.
It's like, because it's white and powdery. I guess she
didn't know.
She didn't know. So that was the second kill.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Honestly, I love all of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
They're all good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. My favorite one's obviously the first one, but I could sit there.
Each one of them has their moment.
Yeah, they're very unique, and they're very underrated.
Oh yes.
They don't get enough love they don't get enough love like most slasher films, Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th.
It's one of those. It's one of those 80s slasher movies that isn't as big as the big four, but they're still.
She is up there in my top favorite slashers.
Mm-hmm.
The Angel of Death, Peter Baker / Angela. So, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
I don't think so. Not directly about these.
Do you want to go ahead and get to the shoutouts?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, I guess, that's it for the podcast. Stay tuned for a new episode next week where we talk about Ginger Dead Man and Evil Bong on our special full moon episode of The Graveyard Shift, where we will be bringing in a special guest, my brother Eric, who is a big fan of the Full Moon horror franchise. And if you're a horror fan, you know about that. And just so you know, he's hilarious.
This is going to be interesting.
He's so funny. You're going to love him. Special shout out to Felisa Rose, a.k.a. Angela, from the first Sleepaway Camp movie. Thank you for the like on my Instagram post. And thank you for the comment and all the love. You're awesome.
And all I've got to say to that is 1, 2, oh, this is a big one. 3.
And if you haven't seen Victor Crowley, she's awesome.
Go watch it. It's hilarious. She's great.
She is awesome. Great actress, hands down. One of my favorites. She is awesome.
Am I dead?
Where are my pills? Everywhere.
We need to do a review of that at some point.
We have to do a review of that. We're definitely going to, because I love the Hatchet films as well.
Maybe do a whole day, do a four spot, do all 4 at once or something. Or maybe just do all 4 separately. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, because all the Hatchets are good, but that one for some reason is in my top favorites. And another shout out I want to give, and it's I'm sad to say that we kind of discovered it recently because I work a lot and I don't go on YouTube a lot, but we basically almost watched every single one of their YouTube videos, and I will sit there and I will watch these for hours. If you guys don't already, go check out Sam and Colby on YouTube. Mm-hmm. They are awesome. Sam, Colby, Brennan,
their whole
Corey,
channel, or Elton, all of their channels are just...
all of their channels are really good.
They go, find abandoned places and whatnot and go explore them and do a bunch of crazy things.
Whether they're haunted or not, they'll, go explore. They go, they travel all around the world. They have this really cool merchandise. They have these awesome, 3 a.m. challenges, Ouija board videos, and, basically conjuring demons. They're, my heroes. Big shout out to Sam and Colby. Go follow Sam Goldbach. Yep. I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. No, you got it right. And Colby Brock. Go follow them on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. They're great. Basically, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, that just about does it for us tonight.
It was shorter than our other,
Well, podcasts. Because we didn't have as much to talk about. We just had 3 movies, and even 2 of those 3 we kind of flew through. But yeah, we'll be back next week with some more stuff, talking about some full moon stuff. So until next time, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Morticia.
And we will see you next time. Peace.